This would all begin during the pilot, as Charlie would call her mom, not expecting her to answer, but this time, Lilith actually did. She got in a fight with her dad, but she still loved him. And even though things weren't going the best for their relationship, Lilith never truly left. She's just been absent recently. As Lilith answered, she said, "What's wrong?" "Mom, you answered. Things aren't going so well right now, Mom. My dream isn't..." Lilith would say, "Don't worry. Someone will come to help you. I'm sure of it." "Is that you, Mom?" "No, I'm busy right now, but I'll come to help you soon, I promise. But before then, let someone else do it." She then hung up. Charlie was unsure what she meant by this. Charlie just thought she lied to get out of helping her. She would sigh and go to the hotel. But eventually the radio demon would show up, and everything else would happen like in canon. And the events played the same until one day, a knock on the door would be heard. As she opened the door, it was Lilith. As Lilith then looked at Charlie, Charlie. "I missed you, my daughter." As they would both hug, she would say, "Mom, where'd you go?" "I was visiting somewhere. I almost made a terrible mistake, but I've decided to stay and help you out at the hotel." Charlie was super excited. As she brought her to Vaggie, "Meet my girlfriend." Vaggie would say hi. As then, Lilith would smile and go over and hug Vaggie. "It's nice to see you, you know that?" "Really?" "Yeah." Ever since she was little, she liked girls. She would get a little too friendly with her Barbies, if you know what I mean. Charlie would get nervous and say, "Can we go off topic?" Huss would just laugh. As then, Alistair would see her and get nervous. As Lilith would walk up to Alistair and say, "Don't worry, you're doing a good job." As then Charlie said, "Why are you talking to him like that?" Huss would smirk and say, "Well, she owns him." As Alistair would get mad at Huss, but then Lilith would say, "Have some manners, Alistair. Don't hurt him." Alistair would sigh and say, "All right," but then he gave us a look saying, "When Lilith leaves, you're dead." So yeah, everything was going interestingly. Lilith would meet everyone. She would get along well with Angel Dust, even though they didn't really talk much. Husk would really like Lilith because, you know, it stopped Alistair from doing anything crazy, and Charlie absolutely loved having Lilith around. As time went on, though, Charlie needed a meet-in, so Lilith had an idea. As the door opened, Lucifer looked. It was Lilith. He couldn't believe it. It's been so long. He got up and hugged her. "Are you coming to stay?" Lilith said. "I don't know, but Charlie needs your help. She needs a meeting with Heaven." "Heaven? No, I can't." Lilith said, "Please, darling," as she held his hand. Lucifer knew that she was manipulating him. However, he couldn't say no to her. He's been alone for so long. He's lost so much. And, well, just seeing her again brought up so many memories. He began to smile as he looked at her. "You really think so?" Lilith would say, "I know so. Please, help us." Lucifer would sigh. "You think she can do this?" "Yes, I know she can do this." As then, Lucifer would agree. Meanwhile, we cut to Alistair. Alistair was so frustrated with everything. He was so frustrated. He didn't know what he can do. Suddenly, though, as he was walking down the sidewalk, someone would walk to him. It was an exorcist in a disguise. As it said, "Can you follow me, good sir? I have an idea for you." Alistair would then walk forth with this exorcist, as the exorcist would turn her head and reveal herself. Alistair was scared at first. Sure, he was an overlord, but even he was wary of angels. As then the angels said, "We have a deal. We know that Lilith controls you. What if you could kill her? What if you could be free?" Alistair would then ponder this question. Could he even do it? Could he even be free? He began to think more and more on this, unsure of what to do, unsure of if this was the right decision or not. After all, if he messed up, everything he had would be ruined, and his soul could be erased itself. However, the angels want to wipe out Sinner's soul anyway, and could he trust these angels? He thought he couldn't, but he's so desperate for freedom. These thoughts all went to his head. As then she said, "Don't trust me? How about a contract? You know that we can't break soul contracts. I won't control your soul, but in exchange for helping us, we'll have to free you. as she held up a contract. Knowing that a contract like this can't be broken, Alistair signed it, and now he had to find a way to destroy Lilith. The angelic demon gave Alistair a little dagger, an angelic dagger, as she said this: "Help us. Slay Lilith. And then your job will be done." As then the angel flew away. Alistair then hid the dagger. He knew that this was going to be risky. However, it's a risk he was willing to take. Sure, usually he would never harm a woman, but considering this woman owns his soul, this woman made him a puppet, he'll make an exception for her. As the plan was set, weeks would pass, and not much would happen. However, everything would change when Charlie came back to the hotel. Things have been getting good with her mother. She's been with her mother for weeks now, and even though she walked out on them, she was trying to make up for lost time, and Charlie still loved her. However, this was unforgivable. As she began to yell at her, Lilith said, "What did I do wrong?" As Charlie said, "Luke told me when I was up at the meeting in heaven. You ran away to her. I came back, Charlie. What I did was wrong. I missed you. I know, but why would you do that, Mom? Why would you run away from us, abandon us, switch sides, join the people that hurt our people like this? Don't you care?" "Charlie, it's more complicated than that. Charlie would say, "I need some time to think alone. Please leave." Lilith would sigh as she left the hotel. She began to walk out on her own. She was all alone. Alistair thought about getting her now, but however, if he followed her while she was alone, that could be a bit suspicious. He needed her to be completely distracted, so he decided to wait. As Lilith began to sit down, she couldn't believe she did this. She couldn't believe she almost ran away. As Lilith would go to Lucifer. Lucifer was getting his rubber ducky collection. As he looked at Lilith and said, "Ah, Lilith," would simply smile. "You always loved that rubber ducky collection, didn't you?" Lucifer would say, "Yeah, I always have, but why are you here?" "I wanted you and me to go to Charlie and tell them that I don't want to leave their life. We might not be together anymore, but I still want to be in their life together and show that we're still friends." Lucifer was having a bunch of emotions. Hearing the friend zone word wasn't really a great thing. However, he really did still care about Lilith, and he loved Charlie more than anything, so he said of course. As then, him and Lilith went back to the hotel. As Charlie and Baggy made up, they both showed up. Lilith would say, "Listen, Charlie, I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry, Mom. Me making you run away wouldn't solve anything. And besides, you're here now. That's what's important." As then, Charlie and Lilith hugged each other and embraced each other with a warm, motherly and daughterly embrace. Nothing could break this happiness. Nothing but Alistair. As the time come, eventually the invasion would start, and since Lilith was at the hotel, she was ready to fight Adam. Suddenly, one by one, exorcists would rain down from the sky. As the battle started, Lilith got ready with Alistair to fight Adam, but as Adam started to fight, suddenly, Lilith would feel a sharp pain in her back. Fighting Adam was a good enough distraction for him to impale her. As she fell down and perished, Adam would laugh. "That was fantastic. I can't believe you did that. Well, a deal's a deal." As suddenly Alistair felt himself become free. "Now leave, and oh, by the way, your pardon from this extermination won't happen next extermination. If we see you, we're gonna attack you on sight next time, so I would get away now." Alistair would simply nod as he left. As then Adam with celebration would bring Lilith down, or what was left of her anyway, and show Charlie, and gloat. This made Charlie mad. As the anger kept building and building and building inside of Charlie, she felt a wave of power, a wave of energy she never had before. As she watched her mother perish, she would not let this happen again. She would not let anyone perish like her mother did. As Charlie screamed and jumped in a furious roar, she tackled down Adam and pushed him to the ground. As she yelled and grabbed her staff, her spear, her angelic weapon, and thrust it into Adam, saving the day. Charlie used her anger to save them all. As then she looked over at her mother one last time and cried, "Goodbye, Mom. I'll miss you." And that's going to leave it off. Sorry about all the mistakes, you know. It's kind of 5 a.m. right now. I had to get this out in the morning. Or in the afternoon, or whatever you want to call it. So I had to record this really late. But hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget that I love you all. And I appreciate you. And I'm glad you're coming back. And I'm glad I'm building a community. And, well, switching to has-been wasn't the easiest choice, but I'm glad I made it because my views have started to pop off. More people are starting to watch, and, well, I just feels like I can do this. I can build myself a channel where people can watch that can grow. And it's all thanks to you. Pat yourself on the back, please. Thank you, and good night.